Zeal Education Society, redefining excellence.
Myself, Preeti Pise, third year diploma student of Civil Department from Zeal Institute, Polytechnic, Pune. The project is to design vermicomposting plants for small farm nearby you. The project is done by 5 members and the project is guided by Professor A.R. Bakadi. So our first slide content composting. Compost is made by decomposing organic material into simpler organic and inorganic compounds in a process called composting. The process recycles various organic materials otherwise regarded as waste products. A good compost is rich in plants' nutrients and beneficial organisms. Compost is used to improve the soil fertility in gardens, landscaping, horticultural, urban agriculture, and organic farming. The benefits of compost include providing nutrient as fertilizer to the crop, acting as a soil conditioner, increasing the human or humic acid content of the soil, and introducing beneficial colonies and microbes in the soil, which helps in suppressing pathogens. The natural interaction of the soil, plant, roots, and nutrient or microorganisms of compost improves the soil structure, and improved soil structure will increase the soil water retention ability. Control soil erosion. Compost can be used for land and stream reclamation. Control soil erosion. Compost can be used for land, stream reclamation, wetland construction, and landfill over. At its simplest level, composting requires gathering a mix of greens and browns. Greens are materials which is nitrogen, such as leaves, grass, food scraps. Browns are more woody material, rich in carbon like stalks, paper, and wood chips. The material are wetted to break them down into humus, a process that occurs over a period of months. Most organic standards demand at least a 60 days composting process. However, composting can also take place as a multi-step, closely monitored process with measured inputs of water, air, and carbon and nitrogen-rich materials. The decomposition process is aided by shredding plant matter, adding water, and ensuring proper aeration by regularly turning the mixture. When open piles or withdrawals are used, fungi, earthworms, and other disturbers further break up the organic material. Aerobic bacteria and fungi manage the chemical process by converting the inputs into heat, carbon dioxide, and ammonium. So our next slide contains methods of composting. First one is indoor method, second one is Bangalore method, third one is mechanical composting, and fourth one is vermicomposting. So vermicompost. Vermicompost is the product of the decomposition process using various species of worms, usually red wiggler, white worms, and other earthworms to create a mixture of decomposing vegetable or food waste, bedding material, and vermicast. This process is called vermicomposting, while the rearing of worms for this purpose is called vermiculture, vermicast, also called worm casting, worm humans, worm manure, or worm faces, is the end of product breakdown of organic matter by earthworms. These casting have been shown to contain reduced levels of contaminants and higher saturation of nutrients than the organic material before vermicomposting. Vermicompost contains water-soluble nutrients and is an excellent nutrient-rich organic fertilizer and soil conditioner. It is used in farming and also scale sustainable organic farming. So our next slide contains small scale. For vermicomposting at home, a large variety of beans are commercially available, or a variety of adapted containers may be used. They may be made of old plastic containers, boards, styrofoam, or metal containers. The design of a small bin usually depends on where an individual wishes to store the bin and how they wish to feed the worms. Some materials are less desirable than others. In worm bin, construction material containers often conduct heat too readily, are prone to rusting, and may release heavy metals into the vermicomposting. Styrofoam containers may release chemicals into the organic material. Some cedars, yellow cedars, and wood contains resinous oils that may harm worms. Although Western red cedar has excellent activity in composting productions. Hemlock is another inexpensive and fairly not rot-resistant wood species that may be used to build worm wheels. So our next slide is small scale again. Beans need holes or mesh for aeration. Some people add a spout or hose in the bottom for excess liquid into a tray for collection. The most common material used are plastic, recycled polythene, and polypropylene, and wood. Warm compost bins made from plastic are ideal but require more drainage than wooden ones because they are not absorbent. However, wooden bins will eventually decay and need to be replaced. Small-scale vermicomposting is well suited to turn kitchen waste into high-quality soil amendment, where space is limited. Worms can decompose organic matter without uh, the additional human physical effort that bean composting requires. Composting worms, which are distributions eaters of trash, such as the red beagles essential fetida, are epigeic surface dwellers, and together with symbiotic associated microbes are the ideal vectors for decomposing food waste. Common earthworms such as lubricals terrestris are anticidal burrowing burrowing species and hence unsuitable for use in a closed system. Other soil species that contribute include insects, other worms, and molds. Mm, so this is the small scale diagram. Okay. Next class content is climate and temperature. There may be differences in vermicomposting method depending on the climate. It is necessary to monitor the temperature of large-scale bin systems, which can have high retentive properties, as the raw materials or feedstocks used can compost heating up the worm bins as they decay and killing the worms. The most common worms used in composting system: red worms, Essentia fetida, Eisenia andrea, and Lumbrius rubellus feed most rapidly at temperature of 15 to 25 degrees Celsius, in bracket 59 to 77 degrees Celsius. They can survive at 10 degrees Celsius. Temperature above 30 degrees Celsius may harm them. This temperature range means that indoor vermicomposting with red worms are impossible in all but tropical climate. Other worms are like perionyx excavators are suitable for warmer climates. If a worm bin is kept outside, it should be placed in a sheltered position away from direct sunlight and insulated against frost in water. Our next slide is suitable worm species. All worms make compost, but some species are not suitable for this purpose. Species most often used for composting include: first one is Essentia fetida, the red wiggler or tiger worm, Essentia andreae. Lumbrius rebellius does not adapt as well to the shallow compost bin as does Essentia fetida. Essentia hortensis, European night crawlers, Aca tendopena, tendras, and night crawlers. Zealous Eugene, African night crawlers, and Perionyx excavates blue worms may be used in tropics. So our next slide is feedstock small scale. Such system usually use kitchen and garden waste using earthworms and other microorganisms to digest organic waste such as kitchen scraps. This includes: first one is all fruits and vegetables, including citrus in limited quantity. Second one, vegetable and fruit peels and ends. Third one, coffee grounds and filters. Fourth one, tea bags, even those with high tannin levels. Fifth one, grains such as bread, cracker, and cereal, including moldy and stale. Fifth one, eggshells rinsed off. And sixth one, leaves and grass clippings, not sprayed with pesticides. Seventh one, newspaper. Most inks used in newspaper are not toxic. Paper tolling, which has not been used with cleaners or chemicals. So our next slide is benefits. Soil. First benefit is improve soil aeration. Second, enriches soil with microorganisms, adding enzymes such as phosphates, and Celsius. Third one is microbial activity in worms. Casting is 10 to 20 times higher than in the soil and organic matter that the worm ingests. Fourth one, attractive foreign earthworms already present in the soil. Next, plant growth. First one, enhanced germination, plant growth and crop yield. Second, it helps in root and plant growth. Third one, enriches soil with microorganisms, adding plant hormones such as actions and gibberellic acid. Citation needed. Next is economic. First one, bio-waste conversion reduces waste flow of landfills. Second, elimination of bio-waste from the waste stream reduces contamination of other recyclables collected in a single bin. Third one, creates low-skill jobs at local level. Next is environmental. First one, helps to close the metabolic gap through recycling waste on site. Second one, large system often use temperature control and mechanized harvesting. However, the equipment is relatively simple and does not wear out quickly. Citation it uses mid-scale worm 1 meter by 2.5 meter up to 1 meter deep, freshly refilled with bedding. Soil conditioner. Vermicompost can be mixed directly into the soil or mixed with water to make a liquid fertilizer known as worm tea. The dark brown waste liquid or leachate that drains into the bottom of some vermicomposting system is not being confused with worm tea. It is uncomposed byproduct from when water-rich food breaks down and may contain pathogens and toxins. It is waste discarded or applied back to the bin when added moisture is needed for further processing. The pH, nutrient, and microbial content of these fertilizers varies upon the inputs fed to worms. Pulverized limestone or calcium carbon can be added to the system to raise the pH. So, thank you.
Zeal Education Society, redefining excellence.